Good morning all. Welcome to grade 9 for the academic session 2021. I am Rimi ma'am and I will be taking your social studies. I hope all of you are well and healthy. Students, this academic session, the subject matter of social studies text is divided over 3 units. Unit 1, 20th century world and India. Unit 2, making of a modern nation. Unit 3, land and people. Slowly, as we proceed with our lessons, you will find it very interesting. The very first chapter explains the rise of British rule in India. The Britishers who came in the year 1600 AD for trade slowly settled in India and ruled our country for more than 200 years. Students, let us begin our lesson and understand why the Europeans wanted to come to India. What was the route through which they landed in India and their expansion policies. Interesting? Yes. Now, let's begin and study in detail. Points to be covered. Discovery of sea route to India. Arrival of Europeans to India. Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. Discovery of sea route to India. There was a lot of demand for the Indian spices, muslin cloth, silk cloth and indigo in the European countries. Now let me explain when I say Indian spices. Children, what is spices? Our Indian masale in Hindi we can say. Now what is muslin cloth? Muslin cloth means cloth made up of super soft natural bamboo fiber with natural antibacterial properties. Indigo is a tropical plant of the pea family which is cultivated as a source of obtaining dark blue dye. Now let me tell you who were the Europeans. Europeans were the Portuguese, the Dutch from Holland, the Danish from Denmark, the English from England, and the French people. Trade between India and Europe was carried out through land route and sea route, and at the center of these routes was Istanbul in Turkey. Istanbul was also known as Constantinople. I repeat, Constantinople. In the year 1453 AD, Istanbul was captured by Turkish Muslims and they closed this land route for the Europeans because of their enmity. This land route via Istanbul was short. The Europeans who could not do without Indian spices, I repeat, who could not do without Indian spices were forced to discover a new sea route, and with this an era of geographical discoveries began. Many great men inspired, encouraged and offered economic help to the explorers to find the sea route to India. One such economic help was offered by Portuguese King Prince Henry to Bartholomew Dias. I repeat, Bartholomew Dias, but he discovered Cape of Good Hope. Christopher Columbus, on his way to discover India stopped at an island in the Atlantic Ocean. This island is presently known as West Indies. Further, he discovered a land which he believed was India. But later on, it was said by Amerigo Vespucci, I repeat, by Amerigo Vespucci, that the land discovered by Columbus was not India but America. At last, in the year 1498 AD, I repeat, in the year 1498 AD, Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama discovered the sea route to India. This is considered as an important event in the world history. Vasco da Gama was welcomed by the king in India that time, Zamorin, in Calicut, which is in Kerala state. Calicut is in Kerala state, the western coast of India. Students, image of world map is attached. By viewing it, you can understand well. Let's have a quick revision. Discovery of sea route to India. Istanbul in the year 1453 AD was captured by Turkish Muslims and closed for the Europeans. Europeans who could not do without Indian spices. I repeat, Europeans who could not do without Indian spices were compelled to discover a new sea route. An era of geographical discoveries began. Portuguese King Prince Henry gave economic assistance to Bartholomew Dias. I repeat, to Bartholomew Dias, and he discovered Cape of Good Hope. Christopher Columbus discovered an island which is presently known as West Indies. Further, he discovered a land which he believed was India, but later Amerigo Vespucci said that the land found by Christopher Columbus was not India but America. Finally, in the year 1498, I repeat, in the year 1498 AD, Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama discovered the sea route to India. Vasco da Gama was welcomed by King Zamorin in Calicut, India. Students, go through the slides attached for better understanding. Our next topic is arrival of Europeans to India. The Portuguese were the first to arrive in India. Over the span of 100 years, they took control over Diu, Daman, Goa, Cochin and Malacca. Inspired by Portuguese, the Dutch and the Danish came to India. The British East India Company came before the French East India Company in the year 1600 AD. The French East India came to India in the year 1668 AD and captured Mahe, Karaikal, Pondicherry, Chandranagar, Machilipatnam. The English traders in the year 1680, after getting permission from Queen Elizabeth, carried out their trade with India. The first ship under the leadership of Captain William Hawkins arrived Surat, Gujarat, but were not allowed to enter because of Portuguese dominance. But finally, they were successful in getting permission from Mughal Emperor Jahangir in 1613 AD. I repeat, from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir in 1613 AD. The British East India Company established their trade center at Surat, Bharuch and Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Students, this was the time when Marathas had strong hold in this region. So, the British East India Company sensed danger and moved towards the south and eastern part of the country. Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh, St. George in presently known as Chennai in Tamil Nadu. Chennai that time was known as St. George. Fort William, Calcutta in West Bengal. Calcutta was known as Fort William during those days. In the year 1687, the Britishers made Mumbai the trade center. I repeat, in the year 1687, the Britishers made Mumbai the trade center. Now, let's have a quick revision. Arrivals of Europeans to India. The Portuguese were the first to arrive in India. Within a span of 100 years, I repeat, a span of 100 years, the Portuguese took control over several territories like Diu, Daman, Goa, Cochin, Malacca, etc. Inspired by the Portuguese success in trade, the Dutch from Holland and the Danish from Denmark arrived India for trade. In the year 1600 AD, I repeat, in the year 1600 AD, the English traders came to India. In the year 1668 AD, the French East India Company arrived in India for trade and established themselves in Mahe, Karaikal, Pondicherry, Chandranagar, Machilipatnam, etc. Students, Mahe in Kerala state, Karaikal, Indian Union Territory in Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, Indian Union Territory, Tamil Nadu, Chandranagar in West Bengal, Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh. In the 18th century, the English and the French fought for power with each other. Eventually, after the Mysore War between 1767 to 1790. Students, the three Mysore War were fought with the Europeans with Hyder Ali, father of Tipu Sultan, and Tipu Sultan. They gave a good fight to the Europeans but lost the battle. So, after this battle, the Portuguese were left with Diu, Daman and Goa. The French had smaller areas like Chandranagar, Mahe, Karaikal and Pondicherry. The Dutch and the Danish had to leave. I repeat, the Dutch and the Danish had to leave. At the end of this battle for power, the British East India Company adopted various policies to expand their territories in India. In the year 1600 AD, Queen Elizabeth of England, I repeat, in the year 1600 AD, Queen Elizabeth of England gave the permission for trade in India. Under the leadership of Captain William Hawkins, I repeat, under the leadership of Captain William Hawkins, the first ship arrived in Surat. After great struggle, finally they got permission from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. The Britishers, they got permission from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir for trade, for doing business in India. First, the East India Company established trade in Surat, Bharuch and Ahmedabad, which is now presently in Gujarat state. Due to the strong presence of Marathas, the British East India Company sensed danger and moved towards south. The southern portions were Machilipatnam, Andhra Pradesh, St. George, Chennai in Tamil Nadu, and in East Kolkata known as Fort William. The British East India Company made Mumbai their headquarters for trade in the year 1687 AD. I repeat, they made Mumbai their headquarters for trade for business in the year 1687 AD. The Battle of Plassey. This famous battle was fought on 23rd June 1757 AD in Plassey, 38 kilometers away from Murshidabad in West Bengal. The foundation of the company's rule in India was laid with the winning of this battle. Let's study how the British East India Company, without taking permission from the Nawab of Bengal, Sirajuddaulah, built a fortress around the trade center in Kolkata on pretext of security reasons. Now let me explain, children, what is a fortress. A fortress is a strongly fortified town. That means a town which is surrounded by big, strong walls all around. When the Nawab found that a fortress is built, he destroyed it. When this news reached Madras, Chennai, Robert Clive reached Bengal with his small army, but soon the British East India Company realized that it was not easy to defeat Nawab Sirajuddaulah. So they planned a conspiracy. What is conspiracy? A secret plan to defeat Sirajuddaulah. Sirajuddaulah had many opponents. Opponents means enemies, because of his impulsive nature. Students, what is impulsive nature? A person who reacts without forethought, who reacts without thinking, is known to have an impulsive nature. So he had many enemies because of his impulsive nature. The East India Company, headed by Robert Clive, resorted to treachery methods. Treachery means betrayal or distrust, and for this they searched Mir Zafar and Seth Ami Chand. They were the greatest enemy of Sirajuddaulah. So these two, Mir Zafar and Seth Ami Chand, they were coaxed, they were forced to be with East India Company and fight against the Nawab. According to the plan, Mir Zafar lost the battle. The Battle of Plassey ended in just a half a day. Mir Zafar, according to the promise, was made the Nawab of Bengal, and the company got hold over 24 Parganas. What is Parganas? Parganas are a group of villages or a subdivision of a district. Let's revise once more. The Battle of Plassey. It was fought in the year 1757 AD in Plassey, 38 kilometers away from Murshidabad, West Bengal. I repeat, Plassey is 38 kilometers away from Murshidabad, which is in West Bengal. The battle was fought between Nawab of Bengal, Sirajuddaulah, and Robert Clive. Battle of Plassey was fought between Nawab of Bengal, Sirajuddaulah, and Robert Clive. Robert Clive adopted treachery ways, many ways of cheating, betrayal, and made plans with Mir Zafar, who was the army general in Sirajuddaulah camp, and Seth Ami Chand, who was a merchant, to defeat Nawab Sirajuddaulah. According to the plan laid, Mir Zafar lost the battle. The Battle of Plassey ended in just a half a day. I repeat, the Battle of Plassey ended in just a half a day. Can you imagine? Mir Zafar was made Nawab of Bengal according to the plan and the promise, and with this the British East India Company got hold over 24 Parganas. That means they got hold over subdivision of a district is known as Parganas. Group of villages are known as Parganas. So they got hold over 24 Parganas. Thus, the foundation stone of the company's rule was established in India with the Battle of Plassey. Battle of Buxar. This battle was fought in Buxar, Bihar, in the year 1764 AD on 22nd October. In this battle, the East India Company fought against the United Army. United Army means Mir Qasim, Nawab of Awadh, and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam. The trio together fought the Battle of Buxar and lost. Students, let us see why this battle started and what was the consequences. So let's study. After the Battle of Plassey, Mir Zafar was made the Nawab of Bengal. East India Company tried to extract plenty of wealth from Mir Zafar because of greed and to gain more power. When Mir Zafar refused to give money, then the East India Company dethroned Mir Zafar and made Mir Qasim the Nawab of Bengal. But Mir Qasim proved to be more ambitious. Sensing this, the East India Company removed Mir Qasim and again made Mir Zafar. Thus, Mir Qasim felt insulted. He ran away and took shelter in Awadh and joined hands with the Nawab of Awadh. During this time only, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam had come to visit Awadh. This was the time when the three planned together to fight against the East India Company united. They declared war against the East India Company but lost the war. By winning this Battle of Buxar, the East India Company got the Diwani rights. Diwani rights means rights to collect revenue. Now students, let's have a revision. The Battle of Buxar. This Battle of Buxar was fought in the year 1764 AD in Buxar, Bihar on 22nd October between East India Company and United Army. United Army means Mir Qasim, Nawab of Awadh and last Mughal Emperor Shah Alam. But they lost the war. I repeat, United Army, Mir Qasim, Nawab of Awadh and last Mughal Emperor Shah Alam. But they lost the war and East India Company won the battle. The Britishers got the Diwani rights, that means right to collect revenue in the states Bengal, Bihar and Orissa, a landmark victory. With this, we have completed the topics to be covered. Few slides are attached. All of you view it nicely for better understanding. Home assignments has been given. I hope you have understood the topics well and will enjoy doing your home assignment. Thank you. Goodbye. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe.